My channel, Simply Living Tiny, episode number 3. And thank you so much for stopping by today. And I hope that you all have had a very good week. And today I wanted to show you my washer dryer combo. I did have a question in the comment section about wanting to know more about my washer dryer combo. So I thought I'd take the time and go through and show you that today. So this episode, it's not sponsored by the maker of my washer dryer combo. It's the Equator 550, and I just wanted to share it with you. That way, if you are looking for a similar appliance, I just wanted to share with you about what I think about my washer dryer combo and all the functions that it has. Maybe that'll help you in making a decision on what kind of brand that you would like. And so this one, it has 11 different settings. So to me, that's a whole lot of settings. And it has like your normal wash. You have like if you wanted to do, if you had wool clothing that you needed to wash, you have a setting for that. If you have like really dirty clothes and need a heavy duty setting, you have that. It goes through like a pre-wash cycle before it goes into like your regular washing cycle. And you also have a setting for delicates. If you want to do a quick wash, you got a setting for that. If you wanted to put it on eco to save some energy, it does that also. So I'll go through and show you all of the different settings that it has. And then also if you just wanted to do a wash only, so you're going to hang your clothes out to wash, or you don't like your clothing to be dried in a dryer, then you can do a wash only, you can do a dry only. And then also with this washer dryer combo, you can winterize it. So if people are living in an RV, or say they have a little getaway lake house or something, and they just they're only there during a season. So this is a good brand for that too. You can winterize it whenever it's not in use. It also has a quiet setting, so that's really good too. And I use that setting a whole lot because usually, I think I shared with you before, I work from home. So I don't really want my washer. Well, it's not really that loud unless it's a little loud when it's on the spin cycle. But other than that, it's pretty quiet. And I use the quiet mode often. So the load capacity for this is 18 pounds. So you can put 18 pounds of clothing in this machine. But it is recommended to not have more than 9 pounds of clothing in the machine because it helps it to go through the drying cycle quicker. If you have more than 9 pounds, then it can take a little bit longer. So for a normal wash, the whole cycle goes through, just the washing time is 51 minutes. And then the drying cycle is 120 minutes. And that's based on the 9 pounds of clothes that you have in the washing machine. So it is recommended for this machine to use high efficiency detergent. And what that means is that you only use a little bit. It says for a regular load of laundry to only use 1 tablespoon of laundry detergent. And that's pretty amazing because that doesn't seem like it's very much laundry detergent to use to wash a whole load of laundry. But that's what's recommended. And the reason for the high efficiency, and you can look on your laundry detergent bottles and it'll have a HE written on there. And so whenever you see that symbol or the HE on the bottles, then you know that it's high efficiency. And the reason that you use the high efficiency is because it creates less suds. And you don't want a lot of suds in this type of machine because it can block, the extra suds can block the condensing chamber, which can clog it up. And you don't want to do that. You want to go through and do what's recommended for the machine to use a high efficiency detergent. And with this machine, you also have other settings other than the 11 settings that I mentioned already. And I'll go through and show you each one of those. But you also have like a refresh setting. You can put, say you have something that maybe it's got a few wrinkles in it, don't like ironing. You can put your laundry in there and do a refresh, and that only takes like 12 minutes to refresh that clothing. And then you can also put it on a time dry. Now, my laundry, whenever it goes through the regular cycle, even after the 120 minutes, it still is damp. So I will put it on that time setting for 60 minutes to give it that extra dry time. And then you also have an extra rinse and spin cycle that lasts for like 15 minutes. But I've never had any issues with my clothes being too wet to have to use the extra rinse and spin cycle. The self-cleaning mode, it lasts for 40 minutes. And then before you winterize the machine, you do need to make sure you drain everything out, drain all the water. You don't want any water in there. And so to winterize it, it's recommended to put some antifreeze in there, let that sit in over the winter time. And then whenever you start using the machine again, of course, you're going to drain that antifreeze out. And so with this machine, you can use fabric softener, but it is not recommended to use dryer sheets. It says that it can harm the machine, so it is not recommended to use dryer sheets, but you can use fabric softener. All right, so let's go in here and I will show you my washer dryer combo. Alright, I pulled out my washer dryer combo so I can show you how it's hooked up. So let's get in here. There it is. As you can see, that's where my hot and cold water come in. And then there's where it drains out. And that's where it's plugged in. And mine is vented. And this is where it blows on the outside. So this is where your hot and cold water hook up. And mine is vented, so this is where it's connected. And with this washer dryer combo, even in a closet or it's tucked away, close the door, nobody can see it, and make it ventless. And so to do that, there's a plate, a metal plate that goes over this right here, and then you don't have to have that exhaust. I was going to show you this too. These are stickers that are on top of the washing machine. And so it's got like your easy instructions, installation, your operation, laundry tips, all your different cycles that you have. And then, of course, if you have questions, call customer service. And then you have a warning here. And then more warnings. And down here I wanted to show you, this is called a coin trap door. So all you do is just open it up and then twist. And so if you lose any coins or buttons, you can look in this compartment here to retrieve those items. And it is tucked under the counter here. And here you can see all of the different settings that it has. And I love this feature right here. It's add a sock. And I have used that many times because I have forgot to put something in here. I've already started my laundry. Whenever it starts in the wash mode, the door will lock. And so you push this, hold it down for 3 seconds, and then it'll unlock the door, and then you can add that item that you forgot to put in. And then this machine is vented, or it can be ventless. And then here's your different settings. You can say that you can do wash and dry, wash only, dry only. And then you can also choose your different drying level. So I need to wash my sheets today. So let's go up and get my sheets and here you can see I got a full set of sheets in here and then a couple of towels. And it's recommended to not fill it up any more than 2/3 full. And so as you can see, I still have plenty of room. And now we're going to turn it on. And then you have a digital display here. I always choose the quiet. And then you just hit start. Then here's the lock. And then I like to wash my clothes on cold, but you can change your temperature setting here. And then here it's on 1 rinse. And then this little fan here, that's showing that it's vented. And so when it's not vented, it'll have a different symbol. Here I wanted to show you some specifications with the Equator, the washer dryer super combo. And here's some dimensions and how the back of it looks. And it comes in all different colors. And it gets 4.5 stars out of 5. In case you're wanting to know how much energy it takes to run this machine, it uses 110 volts and 15 amps. And the spin cycle speed is between 1200 to 1400 RPMs. And let's talk about the size of the washer dryer combo. How big is it? Well, the width of it is 23.6 inches wide, 33 inches tall, and the depth of it is 25 inches. My personal thoughts on the Equator 550 washer dryer super combo is 2 thumbs up. I think it does a really good job. I've been very satisfied. The clothes, they come out clean. Even if you stain up your clothes, it gets the stains out. I don't have any issues with it. It does take longer to dry your laundry compared to a traditional dryer, but it does a really good job. And I do recommend it. And I did have a different washer dryer combo that came with the tiny home. And after about, maybe about it was over a year because the warranty was up. So maybe like a year and less than a year and a half it could put on me. So I had to get another washer dryer combo. And it was a big event because they couldn't get it out of the bathroom. And well, they could get the one that come with the tiny home out of the bathroom, but the new one, the Equator, it was a little bit wider, not that much, but a little bit wider than the one that I had before. So we had to take the frame off the door, but it all worked out in the end. And so I'm very satisfied with the one that I did pick out. And so far, knock on wood, haven't had any issues with it. And I just wanted to give you my thoughts on the one that I use. And I recommend it if you wanted it for a tiny home, if you wanted it for, say, an RV or a camper that you stay in where you have a washer dryer hookup. If you want it for a vacation home, it is great for a compact space. And then again, it can be vented or it could be ventless. So you have those options, and that's really good. Thank you everyone for stopping by today. I hope you enjoyed the episode and you learned something new about the washer dryer combo if that's something you're interested in. And if you like this episode, give me a thumbs up, subscribe, and ring that bell so you don't miss an episode. And I hope you go out and make it a great day. And God bless, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye.